Good evening. Okay, apologies immediately because this is going to be probably quite rambly, more rambly than usual. Just a little, I don't even know, I don't think it's a catch up. I think it's just me offloading some thoughts. I haven't got any notes, so it's going to be really off the cuff. Although I can give a slight catch up on house reselling, life, the universe. Does anybody else sometimes, this might be an anxiety thing, I've got quite a lot going on, I suppose, but just question everything sometimes, like, I can hear movements. So I don't know if it's a confidence thing or anxiety thing, but like, I'm wandering around earlier, went sourcing, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, well, I think I've cracked it. There is no point. There is like I'm sorry about this if this is too like philosophical, feel free to switch off, but does anybody else ever think, well, what is the point of life? The actual point of life? I know, like, we can go, oh, it's to have children and it's like, and to help people, but no, seriously, what is the point? Like, not from a depressed point of view, but just from what is the actual point? And I can't remember if it was yesterday or today. I just thought, well, there is no point. I've realised that now. So it's all pointless, and we all just wander around not knowing what the fuck we're doing, really. And that's that. So I might as well just have a glass of wine and look forward to the next day. The thing is, and I do remember saying this growing up, that I wished. Oh, magpie, hang on. Right, so I used to say I wish I was a bit more ignorant, like ignorant as in, not as in rude to other people. I mean, as in, ignorance is bliss, because I feel like some people just wander around going la la la, and they don't question stuff, and they just get on with it, and they just wander around enjoying life and being pretty happy, really. Some people you just meet and they're like, God, they're such a chirpy, not even chirpy might be annoying, but just like a naturally happy person. You can never describe me as a naturally happy person. Christ alive, that would be fantastic. Oh, she's so naturally happy. You're not talking about Shelley? Oh, no. Well, it's gone 5, so I've got, sorry, I don't know what you got then. So I have got one of the 3 flutes left in the house. We did have a watch party for Tom and Nick's. Is it their television debut, or have they been on before? Anyway, their hit list thing on Saturday. And I said, right, there's only 3 flutes, so 3 of us just grabbed them. It's like the rest are going to have to have, I got some paper cups in from the garage, going to have to have pint pots for their wine and all sorts. That was really nice. So we, after the watch party, we sat in the garden. It was absolutely lush. We put our lights on and sat on the big sofa outside. It was just lovely. Just so nice being outside. And then today, sometimes I have an epiphany where I'm like, do you know what? It's so nice being outside and seeing the sky. I think that is the answer. That is the answer. Just spend more time outside. And then I go out like today and I'm like, oh, is it shorts weather? I thought, no, I'll put my long sweaty betties on and t-shirt and a cardigan. It's freaking freezing all day. Wind. And it's July, so that's done nothing for my mood. And it's really nice, actually. I can't remember what I'm drinking. Possibly a Sauvignon. I can't remember, to be honest, but it's all right. Oh, by the way, there's a 25%. I know that we obviously get wine from Tom's work but there is a 25% off deal on at the moment at Tesco, and we ordered some South African Sauvignon Blanc, I want to say, and some other bits and bobs. White Rioja he found, and it worked out cheap, because he said something like it's like already £1 off from 6 to 5, and then there was 25% off, and it was like £3 something a bottle. I was like, stock up. Yes, because I am drinking moderately too much at the moment, and I'm putting that just down to general stress levels. I hope I'm not chopping my head off. Apologies if I am. Yeah, but then I kind of think that's to be expected, isn't it? I usually have, I used to just like have just a little bit of red wine with dinner. That's all I used to have. But we're getting more towards about 3 glasses before dinner at the moment. But, I am going through a divorce. Kind of keep saying dependency. I'm like, F off. Yeah, I mean, I'm waiting until 5 o'clock. I'd say that's fine, isn't it? Let me know down below if that's fine. So I just thought I'd just chat. Does anybody else just sometimes question everything? And, so then I'm questioning, oh God, I'm really, really awful. Honestly, everything. So I'm questioning reselling, obvious, like, I think we all do that if we've got, slow sales or can't find the stock, stock is so freaking dry. Am I buying the right stuff? Should I be buying other stuff? Should I be doing more bread and butter? Should I be going for stack 'em high, sell 'em cheap? Am I cocking this up? Is this going to work? We're going to be on our own soon. What we're doing? What am I doing? Yeah, so I'm questioning that. And then not only that, so I've got the little tiny flat going through still at the moment, still in the house. And so to the extent where, so last week it was getting on my, I was going to say bobbin then, I was getting on my tits. That's what I was going to say. You just know when someone's not telling you something. And the estate agent gave me the same flannel they'd given me the week before, and I was like, so I asked my solicitor, and they said, oh, yes, no, they, other solicitor hasn't come back haven't answered the questions yet. What? He's had those for 3 weeks, and this is the guy who's supposedly on it and will be pushing everything through because he's a developer. So I, contacted my estate agent again and said, this guy that you said was on it, and they go, he's on it. And I was like, well, why isn't he answering the questions? Oh, flannel. And I thought, hopefully I'll hear something today. No, I bollocking haven't. And it's getting right on my tits. Oh, yeah, this is a bit of an offload, actually. And I think when I get, it's probably a controlling the situation thing. But last week, I know I was like feeling just angry about it. I was just they were getting on my nerves because I thought clearly someone knows something somewhere and someone's not telling me something. Is it an issue? I asked them. They haven't answered that. Has he had the questions and he's answered them, they just haven't been passed back? Or has he not even had the questions yet? Like solicitors to solicitors. Like, can someone tell me the answers? No one can, because they probably know the answers. Someone's not telling somebody something. Someone knows something somewhere, and it's pissing me off. So last week I was, sometimes it gives me some weird energy being a bit angry. So I was like, I threw some dinner in the oven for the girls one day, and then I was like, right, was out wolfing the back lawn, like the Astro, with the like mowery type thing that fluffs it and gets all the crap up. I was out the front getting the weeds up, and then I'm like free cycling stuff, and I'm like in turbo mode, and I thought, I think that's because it sort of makes me feel a bit better that I'm doing something, other than just like listing and that, the work stuff, but house stuff. So that's just annoying me. And so it was annoying me to the extent, so this is a bit of a catch-up actually, where I thought, oh, right, this is going tits up, then clearly there's an issue, someone's not telling me. And I check Rightmove to make sure that actually we are doing, this is the other thing, are we doing the right thing? Should we be buying somewhere so tiny? Should we be buying somewhere in a really awful area, but more, space? And Anyway, this flat came up and I was like, oh, okay, it's cheaper and it's got more bedrooms. And it's a great location in terms of being very close to Caversham and the station. But so it's all like, it's quite a large old, I won't say, when would it have been from the, is it mid-century? No, it can't be. No, it can't be. What would it be? 80s maybe. So it's all like, so some of it's still council flats, and some of them people have bought them and then they've been sold on. So ex-local authority. And anyways, and I'm like, why are they so cheap? They are so cheap. And so I'm like, right, it's cheaper than one we're buying and it's got 3 bedrooms. I think we've got to go and have a look. So me and Maud trumped down for a look. And I said to this agent, when were these photos taken? Because I've been caught like this before where they've said, oh yeah, there are tenants in there now. And the photos they'd used were from, well, I don't know how many years ago. But the same thing happened again. They went, oh, the current tenants have been there 6 months. I went, yeah. The current tenants have. We went there, and again, they'd used photos from when it was first done out, probably for rental. That must have been years and years ago, because it was so grotty that, I mean, we moved in here and there was mould up the walls and, moths in the curtains and a leak, a hole in the ceiling in the kitchen, the gas leak. We moved in and we were like, yep, we're so fine, we can do these bits, we can do the emergency stuff. But this place, I actually thought, I didn't feel like we could even move in while we did it. We'd have to stay somewhere else while we sorted it out, because it was, so grotty. And the poor tenants, like one of them came out with their daughter. She was lovely, and the guy tenant, he didn't even bother to get out for the viewing. He just sat there. It seemed like he was pretty peed off about it, and I was like, it was a bit awkward. And the other thing was, so I'm reading all this stuff about the communal area cleaning, and as before we go up the stairs, it's on the top floor, and this couple come down carrying loads of scooters, like loads. I'm like, they've got a lot of scooters. And I smile, and she smiles at me, and I said, oh, they seem friendly. And then on the way up to the flat, sort of halfway up, and I look out the window because I know there's a garage with this flat, and I thought, I wonder if I can see the garage from here. And a van pulls up, and there's these two loading all these scooters into the back of a van. And I'm not saying anything about it. I'm just saying it was quite a sight. Yeah. And they had a lot of scooters. So, yeah, we decided that, well, poor Maud, like she must have been like shooting it, that I might go, oh yeah, I think we'll go for this. The estate agent came out and said, oh, what are your thoughts? And I said, well, and I mentioned how those photos were taken a long time ago, weren't they? I said, I'm not sure it's for us. And he'd given me the details, so I gave them back to him. I said, you might as well use these again. And I looked at Maud and said, what do you think? And she just looked like scared. I was like, yeah, don't worry. But the thing is, I said, I mean, yeah, maybe I shouldn't go into that too much. But anyway, the point was that people say, oh, that's pessimistic, that you think your flat might not go through. I say it's realistic, because until you've exchanged, nothing's for certain. So I still keep abreast of what's happening out there, and if there's anything coming on that would be more suitable. And, are we doing the right thing? I'm going to have to share a room with Connie. I'm going to be in bunks, but I'd actually rather go somewhere where I feel safer, and we'll all feel safer, than where we looked at the other day. Well, I mean, that's a choice. That's a choice, isn't it? Yeah, so I just questioned things. and everything obviously with, I don't want to talk too much about divorce and stuff, but as soon as you start down the road of, well, I don't think it's not a secret that neither of us planned to get divorced. We just planned to separate. But then as soon as you start down that road, things escalate very quickly with, we want you to, sort your finances out. Well, it's best you get divorced and then do this and that. And it does snowball very quickly. And before you know it, you're getting divorced. Yeah. I don't know. It's all a bit. Oh yeah, I know there's some people that watch that have been divorced. Actually, I think I need some a pep talk of like it's all gonna be all right and it's for the best, because it just feels very bleak as well at the moment. So God, I think I had a great weekend. I had a cracking weekend the weekend before Eastbourne. A great weekend this weekend because so we've got a lot of joint friends and that'll continue. So it was a friend's birthday and we were out for a curry, and then Saturday, we had the watch party. So we had friends round at ours and big piss up at ours, and it was really nice. But then on Sunday, I just felt, I don't know, like an anticlimax. I was looking forward to the weekend. It was a really good couple of evenings and, social and getting pissed and stuff. And then Sunday day, I just thought, things feel a bit bleak. Like there's nothing to look forward to. Although I know we've got some things in the diary as well. I feel like I need to book a holiday, which is I can't do that right now. I'm still trying to get the house to go through. But is that normal? People that have been through divorce, you should be a bit miserable, shouldn't you? It should be a bit depressing. It's not, and sad. It shouldn't be. It'd be better if you were like, let's roll out the barrel, because it would be easier, wouldn't it? Yeah. I don't know. I kind of feel like even the girls have said they just want to get on with it now with the move, because it feels like, well, it is, from sort of getting the house valuations to viewings and getting a sale, and then all the malarkey of solicitors and searchers and God knows what. It is a long time. Yes, actually, I think I started getting the valuations just before the hit list, and I think that was beginning of March. So March, April, May, June. We've had June. Yeah, we're in July, aren't we? It's kind of 4 months. I mean, it could be worse. Yes. So, right. What other updates? So the money's coming in again from reselling, but it feels like it's very precarious, which it is. So I haven't been outsourcing quite as much as usual as I should be, I feel, because I've also been listing our stuff. And so I was outsourcing today. I'm going to go out again tomorrow because didn't find much today, to be honest. I got so desperate, I got ties. Oh, right, one more thing. I was questioning the reason, universe, life, and all the rest of it on the reselling front. Anybody that's doing Poshmark, any thoughts on that at the moment? I really want to know when they're going to start advertising, when the hard launch is. I know I think we're still in soft launch, and I know a lot of people saying it feels, it is a lot of resellers on there at the moment, and we are buying from each other, and I personally need to ban myself from those lives because I keep going on and buying stuff and I don't need it, and I'm meant to be becoming a minimalist and I keep buying stuff. If you follow my Insta, you'll see, because there'll be another picture of me going, oh, look what I bought now. A few things actually just arrived. I'm like, what? Why did I buy a maxi dress? I'm short. So I did reposh a few things in a bid to just recoup the money, really, because I don't know what possesses me. I think it's like an auction fever, when you're watching something live. So if you're not on Poshmark, if you're not on Poshmark, it's, yeah, you get these live auctions where you can tune in and people are showing you stuff and go, oh, I've been done that. And next thing you know, you've won something and it's coming in the post. Some really big benefits to Poshmark and compared to eBay. One of them being, so like on that, if you bid on an auction, if you win it, your credit card details are already input, and the money just comes out. The same as, I think, if you send an offer to a seller. Sorry, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. If you send an offer and they accept it, money comes out. It's all done. Like, whereas on eBay, people can just fuck you around for a fortnight if they like, not paying, and then go, oh, I'm sorry, a bird farted in the garden, so I can't pay now. And then you're just stuffed. So, yeah, and also another benefit, a bit like Vinted, is that it seems after it might be 48 hours, might be the same as Vinted, of somebody getting their item, it goes through and that's it. There's no bollocking around with, oh, I've had it for 28 days and now that I've worn it. I mean, I'm sorry, now that I've actually tried it on, I think I'll send it back because I don't want it anymore. There's none of that shit. It's like, you can reposh it if you like, resell it, which is also another good benefit of it. The big drawback is that it's a 20% fee, but I guess that's what you're paying for, and is those other benefits. So, and it's very social. And there is the opportunity to get your stuff seen, not by paying eBay to promote it and not knowing whether they are or not, but just by sharing. If you don't know about Poshmark, it sort of works on people sharing your items, and it'll appear at the top of a feed, somebody else then sharing it, and then it might stay a little bit bit longer at the top of a feed. And that's how you get eyes on stuff, is by sharing. If you don't know about Poshmark, I'm sorry, that's a shit explanation. But yeah, so that's another thing. It's like, I was watching Chris Daly Refinement earlier, and he said, he said this for a long time, he doesn't recommend cross-listing. He's basically, of the mind that you should pick something and stick to it. Mind you, he has got Whatnot going and Poshmark now, so that's not entirely true. However, he doesn't recommend cross-listing. And the thing is, I love the platform that shall not be named. Love it. But I can certainly see if they start advertising Posh and actually more people join it, I can see it being a viable option. Obviously it is, because the US, a lot of people do really well on it. Right, this is just me talking through as I'm speaking, as I'm thinking. But then also I wonder about what's going to sell on Posh, because at the moment I'd be interested to know if anybody's getting any higher ticket item sales. I feel as though it's all lower priced items. I don't feel like, because I feel like the higher priced sales would still be off from eBay, or Vestiaire, or even Vinted. I feel it seems to be for the lower priced items, which I feel like we started off saying Vintage was only for lower priced items, but then it's like, oh, actually, you can put other stuff on there. And, I have some plenty higher priced items go on there. So, yeah, that's my wonder. I'm wondering about that as well, just to throw something else into the mix, because I, got the capacity for that. I've got the headspace. So in the meantime, I'm sharing a gazillion times a day. Well, not a gazillion. I don't know if you're only meant to do it 3 times a day, but I've just started doing a few more. You can share your own listings, and I'm way behind on sharing my own listings compared to sharing other people's listings. And you've got to do 5,000 shares of each thing. Sorry if this makes no sense to you. So I'm trying to, and there's other things you have to tick to become an ambassador, and then that unlocks. It's like a game, isn't it? That unlocks some other things. I don't even know what yet. I suppose that you can do live auctions. So I've got some things ticked off, like dispatch time and thank you notes and that sort of thing. But I need a few more sales under my belt and shares. So I've got to keep that going in case I need to try it out. So right, that's me offloaded then. Did I give you an update on? I think that's an update on what's going on in my tiny little brain right now. Yeah, so July, and I did think we would be moving this month, and now I'm cock nose, to be honest. Honestly, cock nose. Yeah, if you've got any words of wisdom for me on the old, it's going to be all right, or you do lally, you're never going to be certain of anything, or Poshmark, or reselling, or moving, or divorce, or anything, please do comment below. That would be very helpful. Thank you. And sorry, that was a bit wittery. Have a good evening. Bye-bye, don't die.